Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know who it is, the Cat Natural Resident Fly Guy, your chief architect, MichelangeloStarArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to this lifestyle thing. Make sure we're all the way at the top. Yo, I hope that everybody's having a wonderful Friday. It is Friday, it's Fly Guy Friday, and today I get to launch Fly Guy Friday, where we talk about fedoras and we're talking about hats of all sorts. So I'm super excited to give that and bring that to you guys at 6:30 p.m. So be ready for that on my YouTube family. But today I wanted to talk about the concept of being fly, really what that means. And so from a conceptual standpoint, we understand that being fly is often associated with flying, with being elevated, with being free, with being liberated, with being able to move quickly in different types of situations and different types of dynamics, understanding how to get to from point A to point B, and ultimately um, being able to create a new type of experience for yourself. If you just think about flying for a second, like when people started flying, this was a crazy concept for a lot of people to actually be in the air, being able to move like a bird, through time and space. And while we don't necessarily, we take it for granted, I think a lot of us now, since flying in the airplanes is so easy, we forget about the freedom that comes along with that. We forget about the joy that comes along with you just flying, with you being up in the air and free. So just quick story. I plan on at some point before I die. It's probably not gonna be this year. I'm still scared, but um, I plan on doing some hang gliding. A friend of mine, he did hang gliding, and I also want to go skydiving. Skydiving may actually happen this year, but two of the people who have done both of those were like, it's the most freeing, liberating feeling to feel like you're flying, to be going through time and space in those different types of space. So how does that even equate towards personal style? Well, if you actually are dressing for yourself, and that's why I used that statement of dressing yourself with the best of who you are, with the best of yourself, then there's a liberating element there. There is this space where you actually are fully yourself and representing fully who you are. In an age of filters and all of these different types of things that allow us to kind of just get caught up in the attrition of attention, right? Just we always have to keep on putting content out. Hell, I'm here twice a day now, like to make sure that you guys get content. And in that war of attrition for attention, it's very easy to get sidetracked or to get drawn into doing what everybody else says that you have to do, right? But when you are actually fly and being yourself, you can be mindful of other situations, of other people, without necessarily subscribing to them. And how does that then translate into your personal style? Well, a lot of times when I'm talking to guys, I tend to take the effortless gents um, mindset. If you haven't checked out his YouTube page, make sure you check out the Effortless Gent. He has a great ebook called The Lean Wardrobe that I actually took some concepts from. So I want to make sure that I'm giving him credit. Um, but when it comes to me helping a lot of new clients out, that's one of the things that we talk about is creating a lean wardrobe. Now a lot of guys think that this is just so you can save money and you can really build on something within that lean wardrobe, which is true. That is one facet. But from a mental standpoint, what a lot of guys don't realize is there's a certain freedom with not having to worry about what everybody else is doing. There is a freedom that comes with you saying, this is exactly what I need as an individual from a social standpoint, from a physical standpoint, and then also from a mental standpoint. And yes, you're saving tons of money, but you're also not being influenced or impacted by the the powers that be around you. Because again, if you've heard me talk, then you know that fashion is a almost $1 trillion business. It's a $1 billion business right now, but it's all about just getting you to consume. It's all about consumption. How fast can I get you back into the store after you've purchased? And now with the internet and you not having to leave the house, it's becoming even easier for you to consume products that you probably don't even need. And part of the reason why we do that is because we don't have an understanding of who we are. And that's why Style Architects is a complete transformation of your mind, your physical appearance, and ultimately how you move and communicate with yourself. And so when we're talking about those things, when you start getting fly, it may not be something overly extravagant. Today, hat, sweater, shirt, like it's basic to a certain degree, but if I walk out, the way that everything fits, the way that everything is expressed, the way that everything comes together, that all creates a different dynamic for people to interact with me with, and for me to communicate the very best of who I am, because I know that everything that I'm doing is on point, is perfectly positioned. It was intentional. And that's the last element of communication when it comes to being fly. Being fly and being liberated, having that freedom, having that ability, right, does not absolve you of accountability. You can still be in certain situations and say, well, I'm just doing me. Yeah, but bro, there's other people in your story. You're a part of other people's story, just like they're a part of your story. So it's vitally important that you communicate your own awareness in certain situations. Great story. When I was at Menfluential this week, or past week, was it 2 weeks? It's been almost 2 weeks. I was at Menfluential and we were having a conversation because a lot of guys have recognized me. A few guys, let me not say a lot. A few guys recognized me as the Cat in the Hat. So when we sat down, I took my hat off. And so a lot of guys was like, man, where's your hat? And I was like, oh, it's under the seat, you know. And they was like, man, aren't you the Cat in the Hat? Shouldn't you be wearing your hat? And I said, yes, but we are in a building. And again, I'm in the South. I understand proper etiquette. So I wanted to make sure I took that off. And secondly, we were sitting down and I wanted those $1 million seats. So I was trying to sit in the front. And that was going to obstruct somebody's view. So a lot of times we'll be like, oh man, it's all about me, it's all about me. And we have created a bit of a narcissistic society that says, let me hold up my phone because it is all about me, forgetting that life is happening around you and that you are actually engaging with people, just like I realize that I'm engaging with you guys right now. And so you have to have a certain level of accountability, and that accountability actually gives you more space to be even more free because you are being respectful and mindful of those around you. Appreciate you, Craig. What's going on? For some reason, you guys didn't show up today, so I would love to see who is actually in the room. For some reason, you guys' name didn't show up like it normally does, so I could shout you guys out. And like I said, don't forget that here with YouTube Live in the morning, we have conversation. This is all about clothing, consciousness, you know, dialogue, conversation for you guys. Is not just lectures. However, if you guys aren't talking, this will be like more of the deep dive conversations that I know that I enjoy. And then with the videos, you kind of just get some quick hits that will just make you think about some things, but then you can come back in this morning and have a conversation. Eco Y1, Eco Y, I'm sorry, Eco One. That's what I'm gonna go Eco One. Thank you very much for joining. So outside of that, again, we always want to make sure that we are first and foremost understanding that there is freedom in really figuring out who we are, and really helping people develop that understanding and developing that understanding within ourselves. We want to make sure that we are then constructing elements around that don't necessarily mean that you have to have a wide varying wardrobe or even set of things that you enjoy doing. You can focalize on certain things, and then even with your hobbies, become experts and become masters of those spaces. And lastly, to be very, very mindful of the fact that you are impacting other people's lives, that you are characters in other people's stories. And that is why I love talking about characters in stories, because a lot of us forget, like even with the recent release of Black Panther, how that story was actually interwoven in, what was it, Marvel's Civil War. That was our first introduction of the Black Panther, and now we see him in his own space. But now we see other characters that are going to probably be interwoven into his story as well. So you're always interacting with other peoples in different settings, and you want to be mindful of those things within your own stated and secured identity of yourself. If you can do that, then I guarantee you every day that you show up is going to be a fly day, and you will ensure that you are leaving a lasting impression, not only with your image, but with your interactions. So I want you guys to try that on. It is Friday, so now you have an opportunity to put that to work, whether you're like my man Craig, who has a little one that's probably going to be at church and soccer games and doing all the family things, or maybe like my man Eco, who may be single. I don't know you, Eco, so I'm not going to make any assumptions. But if you are single, who may be out at brunches or engagements for any type of different types of situations, be mindful of who you are, what you're looking to express. Make sure that you are consolidating your characteristics and what you are looking to ultimately communicate, and then be mindful of that communication when you're dealing with other people. And leave me some comments in the comment box letting me know how that goes down this weekend. We will not do the YouTube live Saturday and Sunday, so I can actually prepare for some other stuff, but you still will get your videos Saturday and Sunday. I'm super excited. Tomorrow for Saturday, we're gonna do Q&A. So I actually may end up just hopping on here at 6:30. We'll do a Q&A. It'll be recorded. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then on Sunday you'll have peace. What's going on, man? Willie Mays, thank you for joining. Or if you had to go, thank you for watching. And then Sunday, I'm actually gonna be introducing a new thing that I've been talking about. Handicap Visions. What's going on, man? Thank you very much for joining me. You know I always appreciate Handicap Visions. That's my guy in my mind. And so Sundays we're gonna actually be incorporating a new concept that I'm really excited about. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be trash first. I'm just gonna let you know that now. It's gonna be trash this first go around because it's something new that I'm trying out. But it will get better. So work with me. Like I said, tonight, make sure that you check me out at 6:30 p.m. Yesterday, I apologize. I was late. I was trying to figure out how to take my video from private to public on my mobile because I wasn't at home, and I had to YouTube it. It took me a little bit, but we're gonna get it together. I promise. So outside of that, be great today. You know, you already knew you were great, though, right? You know that. I don't gotta keep on telling you that, but I will. And don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind. So you, yes, you, Craig, yes, you, Willie, yes, who else did I forget? All my homies, charge to my mind, not my heart. I got a bad memory, I'm working on that. You should always dress to express. I will see you tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. for that Q&A. The place is trash right now. The place is looking terrible right now. But we're gonna get it together. It's looking trash right now. Just because we got all this stuff and they're still doing construction, but we'll get it together. We're still smiling, still having a good time. But we'll get it together. It took me 4 or 3 years to get the other spot. Yeah, man, it's only up from here, right? So it's great for the story. I'm not complaining. We just gotta get some things in order, and we will. And it'll be great. Actually, before I go, did anybody have any questions? Anybody have any concerns or any suggestions for anything that you want to talk about? For everybody who's watching the replay, if you do have any suggestions or concerns, they are welcome. And this doesn't just have to be about what you want me to talk about. If there's any way for me to make my videos better, to make sure that I'm giving you guys more value, my ego will be hurt for like 2 seconds. You know, I'm gonna be like, wait, you don't like my videos, right? But it'll help me be better. So if you have any suggestions on that side, by all means, please make sure that you leave those comments in the comment box, and we'll do that. Man, look, Craig, I'm out here working, bro. 461s. I'm super excited. What's my fragrance of the day? So, truth be told, Handicap Visions. I'm gonna remember Handicap Visions. Appreciate you, Craig. So for a fragrance of the day, I'm not really that guy. I would actually hand you off to Style OG, who does fragrance videos. Lee Fragrance, who's a new guy I met at Men's Influential. He's super dope. a young guy out of Philly as well, and then Kevin Samuelson. All those guys actually talk about fragrances. I'm pretty like consistent with my fragrance. So my fragrance that I deal with is a brand called Atelier or Atelier. It's spelled Artelier. Should know how to spell that by now. But they're a boutique brand. They're sold in Sephora now, surprisingly. It was also sold at Neiman Marcus, and so today I'm wearing one of their fragrances called Rendezvous, but I'm actually about to start looking at some spring fragrances for them. But that's primarily like the people that I actually deal with heavy. But like I said, Kevin Samuelson, Style OG, and oh, and Big Beard Business, yes, BBB. I've heard of him. I got to check Big Beard Business out. I haven't really, I didn't know about him. Uh, Style OG had to actually put me on him, so I'm gonna definitely check him out as well. Cause guys, I'm learning about fragrance and I'm learning about watches right now. So you know, my thing was always clothing communication, but watches, interestingly enough, have a lot of psychological aspects and attributes to them as well. So yeah, outside of that, and guys, don't do this no more. You knew I was talking for 15 minutes. Y'all guys could have interrupted at any point. We could have just went left field and started having conversations. Y'all knew y'all could have done that. Because in the morning, like I said, it's all about conversation. You know that I can talk. You know that I'm long-winded. You know that. Just interject. Uh, no, I appreciate it, Craig. But so what I'm actually going to start doing is we're going to start this conversation towards the end. Like I told you guys, the only reason why I do start talking is because I kind of treat this like a sermon. So if you guys need or just want to listen, I do have something prepared. But if you guys want to have a conversation, we can definitely go that route. Because I love the interaction. I love being able to hang out with you guys. Yeah, we definitely do have to be well-rounded gentlemen, and that doesn't just mean you guys worrying about style. Like I'm very much into art. Like I'm a huge novice, but I'm an art enthusiast for new art. I love learning about historical elements. Yes, so I'm on Patreon, Craig. I need to set up my account officially. I was just trying to figure out what I could offer you guys. So if you, even Craig, like if you got any suggestions for what I could offer, I just want to make sure that I'm always giving you guys value in that space. So any recommendations that you have there, I will be, at your, you know, at your discretion and at your mercy for you guys to give me some insight. So think about those. And guys, if you have any other thoughts there, um, but yeah, definitely got to be well-rounded, and that's one of the other things about you guys being fly. Figure out some other things that you enjoy. Like I know that I love the arts. I actually love food, but I love the preparation of food, and so here, and I love the process and the preparation of things. So we have a candle spot here called Candlefish, where they actually teach you how to make candles. So I went in and talked to a young lady, and beautiful young lady too, by the way. Woo, she was beautiful. Anyway, walked in and she was going over like the different options. She was like, "Oh yeah, so we got a spot where you can come in, you can bring a date, and you just pour the wax into the candle, and and we give you kind of some specified stuff, and then you can make it." And I was like, "Is that it?" She was like, "No, we do have another option where you like create your own scent, and then we teach you about all these layering processes, and then you make your own candle." And I was like, "I'm about that life." There's another spot in that same area that does like bitters for your alcohol, and they do like a bitters tasting. So I'm very interested in the process and the learning that can come with things. Another great YouTube channel that you guys may want to check out is not style driven, it's actually more motivation driven, is Tom Bailu. It's called Impact Theory. And shout outs to the super cool dude that I met, Charlie, with Charisma on Command. I'm a huge fan of that guy, just because he's just so fucking cool. That's just a cool dude. Like, and so insightful, so well read, and so engaging. Right, he really is living and breathing what he talks about with charisma. And so yeah, find those different types of things that actually create interest, and you'll start seeing how those things again begin to weave themselves into your life and your life story, your lifestyle, right? And that's why we have those conversations, because it's not just about you being well dressed. What happens when you meet the young lady of your dreams, or you meet the young lady of your dreams for the night, right? There's no judgment here. And she wants to come back to your home. Like, I can't bring a lady back here right now. Spot looks trash right now. I can't bring the new one. She needs to be a down chick so she can be like, yeah, this is trash. We're gonna fix it up, right? Or even when you do have a family, like my man Craig, like Craig has a family. He met the love of his life. He has a son who is looking up to him, who's paying attention to him. Craig, I hope you don't mind me saying that. And so all these different types of things continue to play and build up on one another, so that we start to create this narrative. We create this story, right? Like, we create these chapters, and that's why when I've recently started making mention of, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Let's just break that down, because I always say if a picture's worth 1,000 words, that means every day that you step out, you're creating a new page for your style story. You're making new statements. Well, if we look at a breakdown of 1,000 words, 15 years on the 20, yo man, congrats, boy, that is major. 15 years, they ain't going nowhere after 15 years. Even if you get mad sometimes, you're like, well, we in this now. I still love you, so we gonna stick with it. But when it comes to, so shout outs to actually Craig Wallace for 15 years of marriage. Like, that's huge. 15 years of commitment, love, growth, balance, all those other wonderful things. But yeah, so if you're in a space where, I lost my train of thought. If you're in a space where where we're talking, dang, I lost my train of thought. Guys, where was that? Maybe I'm rambling, and maybe that means I need to get off. I don't know why I was doing this either. Like, anywho. But yeah, so if we're cultivating, essentially you creating a lifestyle around yourself. Oh, 1,000 words, and each time, if we look at the word count, 1,000 words is basically a page. Every day that you step out, you're literally writing a page from your story. And I've started journaling once again, daily, and it's amazing. Sometimes you don't really have a whole lot to say, and sometimes you don't have a whole lot to say with your style. It may be very basic to other people, but it's interesting what happens when you step out and you just make the intention of stepping out in style, how impactful that can end up being on somebody else, because what's basic for you could actually be extremely innovative to somebody else around you. So I don't ever want you to discount who you are and what you're doing, or to think that flyness means extravagance, opulence, or being gaudy. Sometimes flyness is nothing more than you being simplistic but intentional in your interaction and how you are moving with people. So, yeah, I'm gonna get off here, because I will talk to you guys for like 3 hours, and my watch time would be trash, because even though you guys have been rocking with me, thank you, man. Thank you to the 5 people who have been rocking with me for 22 minutes. That means that hopefully I got something to say. So as soon as you see this video uploaded, what I would really, really appreciate, and would ask you for, make this request, is if you found this information beneficial, like, share it on your Facebook. YouTube Handicap Visions, my man. Share it on your Facebook page. Start a conversation, because it's not necessarily about me. I just want you guys to begin to have a conversation in love and in life and in style, so that you guys can really cultivate an understanding of who you are, what your beliefs are, what your value propositions are in all those spaces. And that's what this is all about. So again, 6:30 tonight, I shall see you. And then 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to do a live Q&A. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm super excited. So outside of that, it's Friday. It's not Saturday. So be great, and don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's. I was going to get that right. All right. Peace.